able to Hi everyone, this is Miss Bowen from Pep Practice. We have practice. Pep presented 2021, or you can pay at 51 Bill Street, downtown Kingston. Hi, good day everyone. This is Miss Bowen. Again, for those who are accustomed to the class, you know who I am. For the students who are just joining, I'm Miss Bowen. I'm waiting for all students to join before I can begin. I hope everybody is okay and keeping themselves safe from the current pandemic. We're almost about to face a lockdown once more, simply because the cases are spiraling and our hospitals are almost to full capacity. If you do not have to go out, please do not. I myself has resorted to completely working from home. I have not been on the road because I'm simply trying to be better protected from the virus. One second, please. Yes, I hope everyone is keeping safe and just trying to be cautious, washing your hands, sanitizing, doing all the necessary stuff so you can be able to protect yourself from the pandemic. It is very distasteful. We don't know when we will be anywhere near normal once more, where we can go out and touch and hug. And then sent a message to the WhatsApp. I'm fine. As I said, I'm staying in. I am currently working from home, doing all the necessary things so I can also be protected from the pandemic. It's not an easy situation. However, we have to do our best so we can stay safe. All right. Just waiting on 2 other students. They're about to join. And then I can start sharing my screen. I hope everybody is also well on their preparation for the ability test examination. Today, we're short of 1 month from the ability test examination. After the ability test preparation, we'll go on, well, most of the schools will go on Easter holiday. However, that time is not necessary just to eat bun and cheese and fish. We have to be preparing for the performance test examination, which we'll start some preparation on shortly. Sorry. However, at the moment, we're focusing on the ability test. Today in our class, we are going to be not looking at the format for the for the ability test examination. We're not going to be looking at the format for the ability test examination. Today, I leave that until our next class on Friday, seeing as though we're doing 2 classes per week. I'm going to be going on the study at our website and giving you some more information, or showing you basically how to manipulate the study at our website to find the questions and the notes that you need so you can better prepare yourself for the examination. So that's what we're going to be doing now. So we're going to go on the study at our website. Let me bring it up. I hope you have also been going on the study at our website and doing your own individual practicing. I'm waiting for the information to come up on my screen. Then I can start sharing it. Go ahead and start sharing. All right, so that's a study at our website. And we can access the grade 6 questions from 2 parts. So we can access it at the green tab here at the top, and we can scroll down all the way at the bottom. On the green tab at the bottom. Let's check it. The last class I did on Saturday, because I was not able to do the classes on Friday. I'm not sure if everyone was able to get onto the Saturday class. I hope so. But I wasn't able to access the notes from right here at the bottom. I'm going to try now. If I'm still unsuccessful, I will go to the top part to access the notes. It's a bit, so I'm still unsuccessful. I'm going to be accessing it from the top. I'm going to be sharing once more the website to the chat. Most of the students who are accustomed to the classes should be on the study at our website by now, or should have it bookmarked. If you do not have it bookmarked, I suggest you do so now. I'm going to be sharing back the link to the chat. So I've just shared the link to the chat, and once you click on the link, you'll see what is on my screen. Once you have clicked on that link, you can go to the top part of the web page and click on 6th. Once you click on 6th, you're supposed to be seeing the page that I'm now sharing on my screen. You're going to see 6 class courses. You're not going to be choosing that. Those are paid information, sorry. You're going to scroll down to mental ability and click mental ability. Once you've clicked on mental ability, you should be able to see the different categories of questions. And remember we said that odd one out, analogy, as well as series and sequences are coming on the examination. So I'm going to, I think on one occasion I had went on the analogy category. I touched briefly on the analogy category. So you can look at which one is different too as well. That's also something to look at. Which one is different? That is also a category that we can look at. So these are the categories that we should be focusing on. Which one is different? Series completion. We can still look at numbers and what comes next. That's also a pattern. Alphanumeric, number ranking, and time sequence. That's also something to look at. Alphabet test. Sure, that's something that we should be looking at as much. Coding and decoding, we can also look at that too. Direction census, a small part of that might come on the examination. odd one out, we can definitely look at that one. And as well as analogy, and the one that says analogy and classification. All right, so I'm going to be looking at series today. We can look at a series out. We do add one out. Which one is different? All right, let's look at the analogy first, and if we have more time, I'll make sure that we touch on a little bit of it, since I'm not going to go totally in depth, since you are going to be going in depth in your own free time. Let's look at analogy. I'm going to send the direct link for the analogy note. Where am I seeing purchase? Test, customer. All right. So if you're looking there at the top, you're not looking at the note that says buy now. We're not purchasing anything. You're scrolling all the way down. So you're going to click. Once you go on the study at our website, I'm going to go back for the students who have just joined the class. All right, if you're not seeing mental ability, I'm going to be assisting you once more to get to that part of the website. All right, so is everybody here at the top? I hope everybody's here at the top. I'm going to give you some time for everybody to come there. The link is in the chat. I'm sharing the link once more to the chat. All right, the link is in the chat. All right, so the first thing you're going to be doing is clicking on that link. Once you click on the link, you're going to be on the green part here at the top of the web page. Once you're at the green part at the top of the web page, you're going to click on 6th here, and you see the 6 there. Jump in basically once you're touching it. So you're clicking on 6th. Once you click on 6th, you should be able, once you're scrolling down, you're going to see 6 class course. That's not what you're interested in. Those are paid information. Those are information that you have to pay for. You're going to scroll down, and once you see select subject, continue to scroll down, and you're going to be seeing mental ability. Before I click there, can everybody respond in the chat once you're there? If you're using a device that you're able to access another tab and go on the study at our website, I suggest you do so. If you're using a device that is going to let you come off the class, I will not until after the class is finished. All right, somebody wants me to do it over again. Akira is asking me to do it over again. Once more, you're going to click on studyada.com. And I sent the link in the chat. Once you're on the website, so I'm on another website that I use for users. Sorry about that. So once you're on the study at our website, yes, Najeda, you're raising your hand. All right, so you'll do it after because I use the same. Okay, so once you're using a device that will let you come out of the class, you don't want to be coming out of the class. So stay in the class, and once you're finished, you can follow the steps afterwards. All right. So once you're here and the study at our web page, you're going to click on 6th. Once you click on 6th, scroll down. You're not clicking anything here at the top that says 6th class. You're scrolling down. You're not clicking on this note right here. You're scrolling down. Once you pass Sanskrit, you're going to see mental ability. That's where you're clicking on. You're clicking on mental ability. Once you click on mental ability, you're going to scroll down, not that one there at the top. You're going to scroll down, and these are the different chapters, are the different topics on mental ability that you're going to be focusing on. And as I said, for this class, we're going to quickly jump into analogy and see how best we can look at some of those analogy type questions or notes. And then we're going to hopefully look at another section. So let's click on the analogy there. To click on analogy, we're still not choosing this at the top. Notice it has a price beside it. We're not paying. We're scrolling down, and the one that says buy now, all of these that says buy now, we're not looking at those. We are scrolling down to the part that says notes of analogy, read now. So we're looking at analogy notes. All right, so we looked at the analogy last time. I'm going to be looking at analogy and classification this time. All right, so it says that analogy refers to similar relationship between two or more numbers or letters or words or figures or things. So basically you're looking at the relationship, a similar relationship between two or more things. And this relationship now between the two numbers or letters or figures may be related in different ways. Some of the ways that these may be related are one number is twice or half the other, one number is greater than or less than the other. There we look at relationships where they might be synonymous. Synonymous mean that they mean the same thing or have similar meaning. And also, we might be looking at relationships that are opposite. We also might be looking at relationships that are odd, even, or prime, or the letters at alternate positions or in the English alphabet, or skipping of letters in the English alphabet, or movement or rotation of figures or different elements. All right, so let's look at some of those in details to better clarify what those mean. All right, so there's an example here of an analogy question. Let's scroll up. So it says 12 is to 24 as 24 is to. So let's see how 12 is related to 24. 12 is a half of 24, or 2 times 12 gives us 24. So the same relationship between 12 and 24, that's the same relationship 24 will have with another number. So if we multiply 12 times 2 to get 24, if we multiply 24 times 2, what do we get? 48. Thank you, Najeda and Dan. You can respond in the chat with your answer. So yes, the answer is D, which is 48. All right. I'm not sure, I have not seen any of these in the examination. I won't say it won't come on the examination. Let's look at it irrespective. All right, which figure will replace the question mark in the second pair of, sorry, on the right of the 2 colons in the same way that, or as the first pair on the left of the 2 colons were represented. So we had a V there, or what looks like a V, then we have a, so the V is to the less than sign. Similarly, that upside down, well, that's 3/4 of a square is related to, which one is it related to? Chart. Sorry if I see the answers coming in. All right, some persons are saying C, some persons are saying D. Let me look back at the answers. So it looks as though that diagram that looks like a V, it's turned clockwise, 90 degrees clockwise. Therefore, the figure will be turned, the other figure and the right hand side of the two colons will be turned 90 degrees. So if it's turned one way, so the V was here and it turned 90 degrees to this sign, to this symbol. So if the, yes, that diagram, the 3/4 square, if it's right here and it should turn 90 degrees, it would turn like this. Yeah, so C is the answer. C is the answer. The answer is C, not D. Because, why not D? Because it is in the opposite direction, right? So if you realize that the V was like this, and it turned this way 90 degrees clockwise, so if the 3/4 square is like this, if the diagram that looks like the 3/4 square is like this, it couldn't turn like this. That's up, that's anti-clockwise. It has to be turning like this, which is clockwise. And see, the explanation says, sorry, the figure rotates 90 degrees to obtain the second figure. So yes, the answer is C. All right, let's look at the classification. In classifications, we classify various items into a group on the basis of their common properties. These items may be numbers, letters, figures, things, or places. In such type of problem, some items are given. All these items except one are similar in some manner. You are required to identify the odd one out. So even the odd one out is an analogy. Yes, it is. So let's look at this question. It says, choose the odd one out. $10, $40, $64, $81. What's the odd one out? I'm looking in the chat. 81. Why is 81 the odd one out? Can anybody tell me why 81 is the odd one out? I'm seeing the 81 as the answer, but I want to know why it's an odd number. Okay, fair enough. All of those are even numbers and 81 is an odd number. All right, let's go along and see the reasoning behind the answer. Yes, very good. So except 81, all of these are even numbers and 81 is the only odd number. Okay. All right, we're going to be looking at another question. So these figures now, I think this is pretty straightforward. Choose a figure which is different from the rest. Which one is different from the rest for number 4? Yes, Najeda. All of the numbers can be divided by 2 except 81. Very good. I think everybody is. As I given this answer for number 4 is D because all of them have points in the square except D. All right, so we've looked at analogy and classification. I'm going to jump to, and if you realize you can look at other topics there from the bottom. All right, so I clicked on analogy. And these are some of the questions like what we'll be getting in the exam. I think I'd looked at these first set of questions. I think we had even done the one with delight. Did we do the one with weak and small? Yes, we did that. Yes, I think this is where we stopped with the cause and effect relationship. So we have analogies that are based on similar relationships and opposite relationships. Some of them are also based on cause and effect relationship. So the cause is shoot, and the effect when you shoot someone, although they might not die, but it's you're intending to kill them. Or it can happen that they will die. Race is the fatigue, because when you race, you get tired or fatigued. Number two, another cause and effect relationship is insult and humiliate. When you insult someone, you humiliate them, you cause humiliation. And if you're fasting, for those of the persons whose parents are, if you have fast, which is going without food, a result of fasting would be hunger. All right, let's look at some of the questions that can come under cause and effect. Oh, there's another one. I'm going to just give you, it says pick the pair which is related in the same way as the words in the question. Comedy is to laughter. When you see a comedy movie, you laugh. So which one of these relationships is similar to comedy and laughter? Is it tragedy and sadness, big and small, come and go, or last and in? And Ajania has already sent her answer. I'm seeing your answer, Ajania. Does anybody else want to attempt? Which one of these answers relates the same way that comedy and laughter relates? Remember, we're looking at cause and effect relationship. I've seen Richard Forsyth's answer. I'm waiting for the other students to respond before I can give the answer. All right, so students are between A and D. All right, let's look at D first. When you have the cause, meaning that it's last, the effect could not be end. Last and end is a synonymous relationship because last means the same or similar to end. The one that relates to a cause and effect relationship is tragedy and sadness. So when you have a tragedy, then you are sad as a result of that tragedy. So the answer is A. All right, let's look at one more. Work and tiredness have the same relationship as poison and does poison have the same relationship as work and harm with life, death, dream, or freshness? Yes, Ajania, very good. Because tragedy is a cause and effect. Sorry, tragedy is the cause and sadness is the effect. All right, so the answers coming for the second question. Work is to tiredness as poison is to not life. I think Shaheen is having Oh, you made a mistake, Shiny. Yes, it's B. So poison is related to death the same way that work is related to tiredness. When you work, the cause is work and the effect is tiredness. When you work, you're usually tired. And when you're poisoned, it usually results in death. Very good. All right, there's also a relationship with gender. I'm scrolling down, why is it going so fast? There is a relationship, an analogy relationship based on gender. So in such problems, a pair of words exhibits a male and female relationship, and the same relationship is going to be shown in the other pair of words. So let's look at the relationship. Man is related to woman, similarly boy is related to girl. Man is the male adult and woman is the female adult. Similarly, boy, is a male human and female is and girl is a female human. Let's look at another example. Stag and doe and dog and bitch. A stag is a male deer, while a doe is a female deer. Similarly, a dog is a male animal, while a bitch is a female dog. Let's look at the relationship here now with this question. Duck is related to Drake in the same way that bees is related to, I'm looking for the answer in the chat. Yes, it is drone. So the duck is the female and the drake is the male. Similarly, the bee is the female and the drone is the male. So now students, I won't be going in more detail with the analogy question simply because I want to move on to another category, But I'm going to be sharing the link in the chat for those who, you can copy the information or you can write it or type it out, whichever one is better for you to access the information after the meeting has ended and you will no longer be able to access the chat. So I've shared the link to the analogy notes and there's so much more information here. There's relationships, so much different relationship. And we know that the analogy question will come on the examination. So I really suggest that you look on that. To get to the questions, all you need to do is scroll up back to the top and click on that green section, the part that says sixth, and scroll down once more and select on mental ability. Once you're there, instead of selecting notes, you're going to be selecting the questions. So you're going to click on question bank. Let me see if this brings us to where we need to be. Another way to access the questions is to select on content. Once you select on content, oh yes, you can follow the instruction that Diane Barnes was giving. I'm not sure if that will work for everyone, but it might. So you can select content and click question bank to get to the question bank. I'm going to be sharing that link also, the direct link for the question bank in the chat. All right, so these are the questions. And as I was saying, and this is what I've always been saying, Once you finish a note set, you can go ahead and click on a question bank that is relating. So we're looking at the analogy question bank right now. It's best to look at the notes simply because all the questions are going to be based on the notes. And there's 3 sets of questions here. I'm aware that there's 50 questions in each of those banks. A lot of questions, 150 questions just on analogy. All right, so this is what the question bank looks like. And as I was saying, once you're able to click, you should be able to see the responses coming up, whether it's correct or incorrect. Fill in the blank. Never is related to always, as the same way as hate is related to. You can go ahead and respond in the chat. Love. All right, I'm going to click on do just so you can see what happens. Yes, so do is incorrect, so I will get an incorrect mark. But once I click on love, I will see that it's correct. So once you're able to click on it, you should be able to see whether what you click is correct or incorrect. If you did not know how they got the answer, you can click on view solution. That will open up another tab and it will tell you exactly how they got the answer. So the explanation is that always is opposite. So this is a relationship, an opposite relationship. Always is to opposite, always is opposite to never. In the same way, hate is opposite to love. All right. And you can continue to look at all the questions there, right? So we have another one. This is a synonymous relationship. If endless is related to eternal, then strong is related to which of the following? Anybody get answer? Somebody said C, stout. Let me click on stout. That's correct. Somebody also said D. Let's click on D. No, then the D would be incorrect. It's a similar relationship. So stout is similar to strong. Weak is opposite from strong. Endless is similar to eternal. So that's a synonymous relationship, not an opposite relationship. All right. And you can continue and look, even though it looks like it stops here at C. Once you click down on this arrow and scroll down, you should see where the other questions are coming up. Sorry. As promised, I won't stay on analogy for the entire time period because I want to look at another one. So I'm going to go back, select content, and go to notes. No, Najida, we're not only looking at opposite. In the question bank is on all the different types of questions that you would see in the notes. All right. Something happened. When I clicked on notes just now, I didn't see the notes coming up. Let me click back on. So let me go back over here and then first select sixth. And once I select sixth class, I'm going to select notes. All right, see, I'm seeing mental ability there. And I'm already seeing, well, these are the questions. I don't want to be on the questions. I'm going to be going back and selecting notes. Should be able to see the notes. Yes, I'm seeing the notes now. So the one that I'm going to be looking at is alphanumeric ranking and time sequence. And I'm going to click read now to start reading the notes. If the note isn't working, Diane, all you need to do is scroll back to the top here or to the bottom and click 6 or click on content. If you're seeing a blue button that says content, you can click on content, all right? All right, give me a second. I want to look at something similarly to what is coming on the examination. So when I click on the alphanumeric time sequence there, I'm seeing sequences, yes, but it's not similar or as similar to what I've seen on the past paper. So we're going to look at series completion first. We do have enough time, we can go back to alphanumeric and time sequence, but I definitely want to be touching on things that we know are going to be coming on the examination. All right, so we're there on series, and it says the series is a uniform set. Uniform meaning that it's a set way, it's going in a particular manner. It's a uniform set of digits, letters, figures. In the series, the terms follow a certain rule. And to complete the series or to identify the missing term, you will need to identify the rule on which the series was formed. So let's look at the example. So it says, choose the missing term in the given sequence. Oh, I'm already giving the answer there. So the sequence is 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 32. All right, there's an actual mistake in this question. Where it says 7, it should be a question sign. So the missing term is where the 7 is supposed to be. So it's supposed to be a question sign. So it should say 1, 2, 4. Let me type it in the chat so you can see what I'm referring to. So it should say 1, 2, 4, 8. And then you should have a question sign and then 32. So it's there in the chat now. That's what the question should look like. So which one, the missing term is the question sign. Which one of these terms in the answer would complete the series? So which one is the missing term? Diane says 16. How did you find out your answer? Shaheen also says 16. How did you find out 16, Diane, and Shaheen? Does anybody else choose to respond and tell me how did they get their answer? Akira, your hand is raised. You can go ahead and type in the chat because you're multiplying by 2. Very good, Shaheen. So you multiply 1 by 2, you get 2. You multiply 2. Diane is actually giving us another way. You can add the number by itself. So you can add 1 by 1, add 1 to 1, sorry, to get 2, add 2 to 2 to get 4, or doubling, you're actually doubling, right? So any one of those answers would have been correct. Very good, students. Yeah, so you can multiply by 2. You can also add the same number or double it. Either would give you the answer. All right, let's look at number 2. Identify the missing term. 5, 7, 11, 13, question mark, 19, and 23. You can go ahead and respond in the chat by telling me the answer. This one is a little bit tricky. I'm seeing where the answers are taking a longer time to come in, but here goes Najeda, Diane, and all right, so I'm seeing answers such as 17 and 15. What is the pattern? How did you get your answer? So we can look at how did we leave from 5 to 7, then 11, and then to 13. All right. So you add 2 and then add 4 to continue. Let's see. So we add 2 to 7. Sorry, 2 to 5 give us 7. Then we'll add 4 to 7 to give us 11. 2. Very good. Very good. Very good, Dan. And Oreen. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. Very good. Very good. That's definitely the rule that is taking place. First, you're adding 2, then you're adding 4. So the answer is 17. Very good, students. We won't look at this figure because I have not seen anything like that in the examination. All right, let's look at this one here. Looks, I haven't seen much of this in the examination, but it's something that we can look at that's more similar. So you're inserting the missing character. So in this question, you might be required, to identify a pattern for a set of figures that contains numbers or letters or both. In order for you to identify the missing term or missing number, you need to be able to identify the pattern, similarly to what we looked at before. So which number will replace the question mark in the pattern below? Yes, Najeda, you're also correct. So there are 3 circles that are cut into quarters. In order for you to find out the pattern with the 3rd circle, you should be able to identify the pattern with the first 2 circles first. So what is the pattern with the first 2 circles? I'm seeing an answer from Najeda, but I want you to tell me how you got your answer. Let me scroll down to the answers. How did you get your answer? I'm also seeing an answer from Shaheen, but I'm not seeing any explanations. You know me, I need the explanations. I'm not concerned with the answers as much as how I'm concerned with the explanations. So let me see some explanations coming in. Ajania, I have also seen your answer, but I want to see some explanations. Can anybody provide an explanation based on the answer that they gave? I'm seeing a different answer from Dan. Somebody said that they would say, Ms. Tower said she would say either 21 or 25, but and then another person is giving the answer 20, but I'm not seeing 20 there as the answer. I want to see some more explanations coming in. Which number will replace the question mark in the pattern below? So let's look at the pattern. Oh, you're showing me the relationship. Sorry, Najeda. So you're showing me the relationship with the first, in the first circle. So you said that you add 4 to 6 and 8 to give you 18, and then you add 2 to get 20. Very good, Najeda. So You can add 7 to 9 and then add 8 to give you 24. And then you add 2 to 24 to give you 26. So therefore, you're going to be adding 6 plus 5 to 12, which will give you 23. And then you can add 2 to the 23 to give you 5. Very good, Najida. Very, very good. Students, I won't be able to go through all, well, we're actually finished with this note, but I won't be able to go through the questions, seeing as though we're almost to the end of our session today, and I want to still touch on one more little topic area. All right, I'm going to quickly bring you to how you can get the questions for this notes bank. You can click here where you're seeing the tab here. You can just click back on mental ability here. Or rather, you click back on home. You want to go to the beginning. You don't want to be in the notes. There are some challenges with this website. I'm clearly seeing that. Because some of the links that you're clicking on or some of the tabs that you're clicking on is not bringing you to anywhere sensible. I'm just going to go back on the original study at our website and go back to the beginning. All right, so I should be on the main website now. So I'm going to click on, as I said, I can click on 6 here at the top. And scroll down. Mental ability. So fast. Once we get to mental ability, we can click select content and click question bank, or we can scroll all the way down to question bank. I was not going to scroll down. I'm just going to click on questions there. And once you're at question bank, we did the series completion. So you can click on series there and you will be able to see the different question banks on series. And there are also 3 question banks on series. So you can go ahead and look at that. I'm going to be looking at select content. I'm going to look at notes. And I'm going to be looking at, I wonder if this is one that's not working. Study other websites. One time. I'm going to click on mental ability and go back to the chapters. I might be moving a tad bit fast simply because I want to look at one more category before the time is up. But I suggest you go on the website, students. Yes, Najeda, I'm going to go through the past paper on Friday's class. Today's class is not about the past paper, it's just really for you to go on the study at our website and try to maneuver it and get some of the information that you need for your examination. So we're not going to look at alphanumeric number sequence. That is good to look at another interval in your own free time. But I want to be definitely looking at only the questions that I feel as though is going to come on the examination. So I'm going to look at, where's the odd one out? I saw the odd one out earlier. Sorry. Why am I not seeing it now? That situation here since test letters, paper phone. I don't know, let me see what's going on down here. I'm still not seeing it. Apparently it's in the question bank, but not in the note bank. All right, nonetheless, let's look back at alphanumeric time sequence since we're literally almost to the end of our session today. All right, I'm going to click read now, and then we can go ahead and read. It says the alphanumeric sequence puzzle. So you're given a puzzle, and that puzzle is a jumble sequence of numbers and letters. And you may be asked how many times that number or letter follows a certain rule, which number, sorry, that follows, or which letter follows a certain rule. So let's look at an example. And this is the last question that we're going to be looking at today. We will resume our class on Friday at 5 p.m., where we look at the past paper format once more. How many fours are there in the following arrangement, each of which is immediately preceded by an even number, but not immediately followed by a 6? So this 4 has to satisfy 2 conditions. One of the conditions is that it must be immediately preceded. And preceded means comes before. I would have asked you what the meaning was, but because we don't have enough time, I'm going to tell you what the meaning is. So preceding means it comes before. So immediately preceding it, that means that the 4, how many 4s are there in the following arrangement? Yes, that means that the even number must come immediately before the 4, but not immediately followed by a 6. So there should be a 4. The other condition that the 4 must meet is that it must not be immediately followed by a 6. So you're looking for a 4 that when you look at that 4, so you can write out the sequence. That's what I always tell my other students in my private classes. Write out the sequence and you're going to circle the amount of 4s in the sequence. Once you circle the 4, then you're looking at it and say, that's a 4. Then you're going to look before that 4, immediately preceding, to see if there's an even number, right? That's one condition that has been met. If the 4 is not followed by a 6, then you shade it or you tick it to say, this is a 4 that I'm interested in. And that's how you will be better able to determine how many 4s are in that sequence. That one condition is that it must have an even number before it. But once you look behind it, it must not be followed by a 6. I'm seeing your answer. Sorry, Shahina and Najeda, please double check your answer. Diane, I don't know, I'm mistaken your name. It's probably because of the spelling. Diane, I should know that the E is, I wouldn't say it's silent. It is not pronounced. I guess that is saying silent. Anyways. I'm seeing various answers. So let's look at the first 4 in the sequence. Yes, it has an even number before it, so we're interested in it to up until that point, and it's not followed by a 6. So that's one of the 4s that we're interested in. Let's look at the other 4s. The other 4 in the sequence is preceded by a 2 and followed by a 6. Sorry, not a 6. It is preceded by a 2 and followed by a 7. So that is also a 4 that we're interested in. Let's look at the other 4. The other 4 in the sequence is preceded by a 6, which is an even number, and it's not followed by a 6. So that's also a 4 that we're interested in. Let's look at the last 4. So that's 3 4s so far. Shanake and Ajane, we have passed 2 4s. We are at 3 4s. Let's look at the last 4. The last 4, it has an even number before, which is an 8. However, it's followed by a 6. It's immediately followed by a 6. So that's not a 4 that we're interested in. So let's double check. 1, 2, 3 4s are not followed by a 6, but they are immediately preceded by an even number. So there are 3 4s that are immediately preceded by an even number, but not followed by a 6. So the answer is 3. All right, students, that's where we end for today. I hope you found this session very informative. As I said, we continue on Friday with the formats for the past papers, and we should be better able to determine the types of questions that will come on the 2021 actual ability test paper, which is going to be administered on the 25th of March, which is a month and a day away. We actually start our countdown tomorrow to say that it's 31 days or a month from the actual examination. Students, continue to practice, continue to use the website. I'm going to be sharing my number once more in the chat for students. Somebody preempted me. Diane was in my head. As soon as I was about to say I'm going to be sharing my number, she asked for my number. All right, so I've shared my number to the chat. I'm also sharing the email. Please reach out to me. I will assist in whatever way I can. All right, so that's my number. I'm going to give you some time to copy that down. Thank you very much, Shaheen, and same to you. I am going to use the same term that Shaheen used. Bye, everyone, and have a blessed day and have a blessed remainder of the week until I see you on Friday.
Bye, Miss.